So for chapter 9, we're going to be talking about hypothesis testing. And so for section 9.1, we're going to get into some of the basic ideas, some vocabulary, and the groundwork for how we're going to be able to do this hypothesis testing. So hypothesis testing is very similar to a court trial in regards to the fact that when a defendant is brought forward, they are presumed innocent until enough evidence is presented. And with that evidence that is presented, with it shown that the possibility of them still being innocent with all that evidence being true is so small that we have no choice but to say that they can't be innocent, they must now be guilty. And we'll see kind of a similar matchup here to hypothesis testing, which is going to be that there's going to be some sort of a original statement that says, we believe it's this or that. And then we're trying to show or prove that if there's evidence enough to say that it's more than this or less than that or different, then we can go about and change a decision. So we have for this particular one, we have the Journal of Airways Management, and they're talking about the mean amount of particulate matter produced by cars and light trucks in an urban setting is 35 milligrams of PM per mile of travel. Now, they have a new engine out on the market that they say is supposed to reduce the amount of PM in the air. So there's the two outcomes. One is that it will actually reduce the amount of PM in the air. The other option is that it does not. Now, when we're saying that it does not, it could either do the exact same as what the original engines are that are current engine situations, or it could do worse. But both of those are lumped together. So these are called hypotheses. So one of them is what we call the null hypothesis, which is kind of that presumed innocent, or what we kind of say is this is what we're basing on. And then we have the alternate. Now, for the null hypothesis, this is going to be that it is equal to a specific value, okay? And notationally, we will call the null hypothesis H naught or H sub 0. Now, for the alternative, we have three options here, and I'm going to put these up on board here in just a second. Notationally, this is called H1. Now, we have a left-tailed test, which is that we actually find that the actual value is less than the null hypothesis statement. We have right-tailed, which is going to be that the value is actually higher than the null hypothesis statement. And we have two-tailed, which is that it's just not the same. It might be higher, it might be lower, but it's not either one of those. Now, the left and right-tailed are called two-tailed, or called one-tailed hypotheses, and then we have the two-tailed hypothesis. So let me bring this up so that you can see what I am discussing here, okay? So, with this, kind of just getting the basic up, okay, is if we were talking about the parts, the particulate matter, first off, we have H naught is that we state that the mean is 35. That's what the current status is. That's what they're designating that is, and that's what we're going to go with. Now, the alternative is they thought that it was going to be less. So we think that mu is going to be less than 35. Now, because we think it's going to be less than 35, then this is going to be left-tailed. Because if we think about this in terms of, you know, like a bell curve type thing, we're going to have that here is where we think the 35 is, and they're trying to show me that it is some value down here to the left of that center line. Okay, so we'll look at a couple of other examples here. So we've got, and sometimes they are nice enough to outright just tell me what it is. So we've got determine whether the alternate hypothesis is left tail, right tail, two-tailed. So we have H naught is that mu equals 39. And we have H1 is that mu does not equal 39. Now, because of this does not equals, if I was putting this again in shape, here's 39. This answer could be down here or it could be up here. I don't know. Since there's two options, this is two-tailed. Okay. Additionally, if we had H naught is that mu was 39, and we have H1 is that mu is less than 39. Okay, we've already seen one of these. This is a left-tailed. Okay, So that's just being able to set up and determine whether or not we are left-tailed, right-tailed, or two-tailed.